Hello, welcome. Okay, so this is our Sojo Marketing Solutions Masterclass, or our Digital Marketing Masterclass, or just our chat with you guys. Okay.
There you go. That's a better way of saying it because I have
It's our
no idea what
Saturday
we're
morning
doing.
chat with you guys, but we're trying to sound all official. No, we are so glad you're here. We're so glad you're here. I wanted to start with AJ and I both introducing ourselves just really briefly. So you guys, most of you know us already. And what we want to do today, just so you know, we're going to introduce ourselves, tell a little bit about our journey in digital marketing. We're going to talk a little bit. We want to provide you with some information about what that whole thing is, what digital marketing means, kind of demystify it a little bit, and talk about how you can get started, whether you take advantage of our offering or not. And then also we're going to talk about, just full disclosure, we're going to talk about the resource that we found that we think can make a lot of difference, all the difference in the world. And so we have a lot to talk about, and we want to answer your questions. So we have a lot to talk about. So just so you know, that's kind of be the general outline of what we're going to do over the next few minutes. And we want you to be involved and ask any questions that you might have. So let me just say briefly, I'm just going to talk half a second about digital marketing and why we have decided to start teaching this. You will see, if you start following on social media this new trend of digital marketing, you will see a lot of people on here, a lot of brand new beginners in the space. And that's awesome, because that is kind of the resource we found, the course that we are selling. It's called the Roadmap with Sojo. It is designed for beginners, with beginners in mind. It's like to start you off on day one. But I will say that there are also those of us in the field that are teaching it that have been doing this a while, but it may not have been called digital marketing. So hear me out on this. I used to always doodle in my Bible. I used to do color in my Bible. I was a big time, all the colors, all the everything. Okay. And I never called it Bible journaling, because that was not a phrase until a few years ago, right? A few years ago, Bible journaling came on the field. And those of you, has anybody heard of Bible journaling? Right? So it's kind of like an art journaling with a biblical kind of bent to it. And so now I realize, oh, I've been doing Bible journaling, but I didn't call it Bible journaling. Well, same thing with digital marketing. You're probably hearing that it's kind of a little bit of a buzzword right now. Has anybody been hearing about digital marketing? Maybe if you're on social media, you may have. The algorithm's kind of funny. Once you start following one person with it, like if you follow us, you're going to start seeing a lot more of it, because that's just the way the algorithm works. But it's just a little bit of a catchphrase right now. But we have been doing digital marketing for a long time. We just haven't called it digital marketing. So AJ, can you explain what exactly digital marketing is? Oh, I forgot to say, my journey really quickly. I started back maybe close to 10 years ago. Okay, so in real life, I'm a physician. I'm a pediatrician. And about 10 years ago, a little bit over 10 years ago, something had to give in my life as far as time. I had 4 children, still do. I have 4 children. I have my husband is a pastor. We planted a church 18 years ago. If anybody is in the church planting world, you understand what that means. And I worked full time as a pediatrician, and something had to give, right? And so I had to be home more. But unfortunately, I could not. We had a difficult time with that financially. So I decided to merge 2 of my passions: my passion for the word and teaching women how to study the word creatively, hence the Bible journaling part of it. That's where my first online business started, ministry started, and with this digital marketing space. So what I did was I created a site called Grace in Color, and I sold and taught Bible journaling skills and creative Bible study kind of skills. 5 years ago, I met up with this chick. She's here for me. I don't know where she is for y'all. I met AJ about 6 years ago, and we started a whole new adventure where we're teaching women to grow spiritually. So that is kind of our niche. And because of that, I was able to kind of get my family out of the margins, so to speak, and be more involved in their lives. And so that is why I find this online space and the digital marketing space so beautiful and critical for me. So that's where my story kind of is at the moment. So, and that's why we want to teach this to you. So AJ, sorry, what is digital? What's the question I asked you originally? What exactly is digital marketing, and what is your story in getting there?
Okay. Well, I kind of feel like there's supposed to be a right answer to the digital marketing question, and I don't know what it is. So
There's not.
I'm like, oh boy, here we go. But I mean, the short answer to what is digital marketing is it is marketing in the digital age. And that is in an online capacity where you can reach literally people across the entire globe. So when we talk about digital marketing, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about whether it's a business, whether it's a ministry, whether it's a personal brand, whether it's just getting your message out to a worldwide audience. It is using whatever digital means are available to do that, to put yourself out there. And, that is super important because a lot of us live in parts of the world or parts of, the economy that we can't sustain ourselves in just the little location that we're in. And so digitalizing our message or our product or our resource or ourselves is, it's critical that we have that digital capacity to do so. So that's what digital marketing is. And a little bit of my story is, some of you guys know my family and I lived overseas for a long time. And when I had like 3 kids under the age of 2 and 3 in diapers. And I was about to go out of my mind. I needed friends. I needed companionship. I needed somebody who could speak English the same as I spoke English, because I was living in a country where English was not the language. And so I went online to do that, right? I went digital in order to do that. And I started a blog when blogs were the thing. This was back in 2008, I think, or 2009. And I started just sharing what was on my heart. And very quickly, I began to connect with other people, other women, and we became friends, and we shared these values, and we shared tips and resources, and it became like this little online community, just very, very naturally. And that's how you guys are in our world too. Like, we have connected somehow in the online digital space.
Mm-hmm.
And so we know it's possible. Like, this happens all the time, every day. And so it's basically taking what is possible in the digital space and being intentional about it and using it to get out of it what you want to get out of it. For some of us, as Jen has mentioned before, both of us are Christians. We love the Bible. For some of us, it is using that space to share the most important things in our lives and to run a ministry. For some of us, it is to run a business to help support ourselves. And for some of us, it is just the passion that we have about a topic or a concept or a value that we want to create a community around. So there's so many different ways that you can use digital marketing, personally, professionally. The list truly is endless.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's perfect. And that is the thing. And here's the really cool thing. It is not going anywhere anytime soon. Now, there will be shifts. There are shifts in what's big. Like AJ mentioned that blogging was a big thing. Anybody remember blogging? Now, bloggers are going to tell you it's not dead. They're going to tell you that blogging is not dead. Well, it's kind of getting close, because nobody has time to sit and read long articles. Our attention spans are so shortened. So now, do I still love a good blog article? Yes. Do I still write them? Sometimes, not very often anymore, but we are prone to kind of these short snatches of information. And video, of course, is a big, big deal right now. So things do shift, but in general, they shift within the digital marketing world. Digital's not going anywhere unless something big happens and we stop having internet, which I think we're going to have other issues if that happens. We're not going to be worried
Right.
about anything else. So it's not going anywhere. And in this year and in next year, it's projected, like Forbes magazine, and they projected it just skyrocketing. And I think 2020 really helped that a lot. More people are online now than ever, and people are purchasing online. They're purchasing from real people, real things. So you have something to offer, which I think is cool. We all have something to offer, and there are enough people in the world and on the internet to be able to serve. So yeah, so I love that. However, let me just say one thing, because this is going to be really important if you are looking at this. So how many of you that are here actually already have an online business, or you're already working towards that, you're doing that? Just let us know what it is. Just put what you do down there.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, I'm just curious to know kind of who we're talking to personally. If you already have that, then some of these beginner kind of parts of it, you may have already been through, and you may already know, but some of them you may need to revisit, because here's the thing with some of these early stages, like finding your niche, branding, blah, 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 they are fluid. They're fluid. So AJ and I actually, even over the course of the past 5 years, in our other business, in our other ministry, it's a ministry / business, that is who we speak to has sort of changed over time. So all those things have to be revisited frequently. So have an let's see here, an online business technically don't make any money yet. Okay, so right now it's an online hobby, but it's getting there. Yes, you will get there. That's awesome. Ramona has a business as well. Okay, so there's some are trying to get started, an Etsy shop. That's awesome. And certified in several writing classes. Good. So you're working towards that. Excellent. Excellent. So some are kind of gone through some of these early stages, and some maybe have not. But what I wanted to mention first, because the very first thing we need to know, and I'm going to have you speak on this a little bit, AJ, because you can speak more clearly on this than I can. But one of the most important things is, I feel like I'm interviewing you. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be, but I like your answers.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But one of the most important things is finding a niche. Have you guys heard that? Find your niche. Right? Yes, all the time. There's a few catchphrases, that's one of them. Find your niche down, find your niche, blah, blah, blah. Well, so here's the thing with that. This is one of those things, I like to call them old wives' tales, even though it's not really an old wives' tale, but this is one of those things. Some old wives' tales are really, really effective, and some are really, really useless. I'm in medicine. I know this, right? Some of the things that grandma tells you, you do not want to follow those rules. Some of them are super helpful. Okay. This is one of those that we need to follow. Okay. Now, that said, we need to understand what it means. What is a niche, and what does it mean, and how do you find the right one, and why is that so important? So I'm going to just briefly tell you what it is, and then AJ is going to tell you why choosing it is so important. So I'm giving you a little warning, AJ. So a niche is a specific segment of a broader market. Okay. It's basically the problem that you're going to solve, the problem that you're solving. So like if you have a really broad market in a vast field, there are lots of segments of that. And the niche is one of those smaller segments. Now, my personal opinion, you could get too small. Some experts say you can't. They say you cannot get too small in your niche, because you will find that person. I don't know. I think that we all, as humans, as people, as women with lots of different interests, I think if I had to talk about, one teeny tiny little part of one teeny tiny niche all the time, then I might get bored, and then you're going to get bored. So I think there's a balance here to that, but we have to know who we're talking to. And this is really, really super important. This is not to be not to be confused with our target audience or our what some people call an avatar. Y'all have heard that term before. We're not going to talk about that right now, but a niche. What niche are you in? How do you find your niche? So why is it so important, AJ, for us to have a niche? And you may have opinions on this too, because you started in a time where there were tons, and I did too, in a time where somebody would just put their name on a website and they would talk about anything they thought about, anything
Mhm.
and everything. Cooking one day, house cleaning the next, digital marketing the next, Bible journaling the next, and people listened.
Mhm.
We're kind of past that now.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, answering that question, there's a lot of different answers to it, like why it's important. So I don't know that we need to discuss all of them. There's personal reasons, and then there's also professional reasons. And I'm sorry if you guys can hear the mower. Somebody just decided to crank up their lawnmower.
Of course.
But I think the most important one is because if you don't find a problem to solve, a very specific problem to solve, you're not going to have a business. You're not going to have whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, whether it's building a community or finding, starting a business or starting a ministry, or whatever it is. If there's not a very specific problem that you are solving, there's going to be a lot of confusion. It's like that's the magnet that's going to attract the people that you're looking to reach. So that really, to me, is the biggest reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You have to know who you're talking to and what you're saying to them, right? As you're building your things. So, for example, those of you who are looking to start a business or have already started a business, what is your niche? Do you know your niche? What is your niche? Go ahead and put it in the chat. We'd be interested to know, because you need to know that. And look, guys, here's the thing. You all have a problem that you can solve. There is a problem someone else has that you can solve. It doesn't have to be the biggest problem in the whole wide world, right? But that is a problem or a goal that you can help someone achieve, right? So if you follow our Instagram, you're seeing I'm sort of doing a little bit of a series. I'm only on step 3 now, but doing a little series. It's called Idea to Income, and it's how to find your passion, find your niche, find your digital product, find your space in this world. If you don't know what that space is, then if you don't know what that space is, then that might be a good thing to follow. But it's basically, figuring out what you're passionate about. What can you talk to someone about for hours and hours and hours? And then what you're naturally good at, your unique skills, because you are good at something, what people come to you to ask you, and take those things and try to figure out what problems those things can solve, those passions and those skills, what problems they can solve for other people. Then doing a little bit of market research on whether that would be something that would be profitable, that you could actually make income from, unless your goal is just to have a hobby. There's nothing wrong with that. If your whole goal is just to have fun online, build a community, and that there's nothing wrong with that. But most of us, and I suspect the reason that you're here and you're even listening to us, is that the economy is so stinking awful right now. We need to take our gifts, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you were at our last class, AJ talked about that, how there's nothing wrong with that biblically or ethically in taking our gifts and using them to help finance our own families. And then you create the product basically. And all of this is in the product that we're going to talk about in a minute. And some of it will be on our Instagram as well. Okay.
Well, and I just think one thing before you move on, Jen, is, I kind of think of it as one of those Venn diagrams where you fill in all the things that you're passionate about and the things that you can talk about for hours and hours, all the questions people ask you, that sort of thing. And then on the other side, you fill in the other circle, like all the problems people have about the things that you love to talk about. And then where those two circles overlap, like that's the sweet spot. That's where you and the person you're trying to reach come together, that's where the overlap is. And that's where your product idea is really going to come to life, because that is something that you can actually, you have a passion for and someone else is willing to pay you for it. So, and that's what you want. Like, even a ministry has to have money to continue. Without it, it's going to close its doors. So you have to have something that can sustain what you're doing. You know, you have to have the financial foundation to sustain what you're doing. And that Venn diagram has always helped me. It's just a really simple, easy way to come up with ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. And to that could change as well. You know, that is not something that you have to stick with for the rest of your born days, right? That particular thing, but it can be something that you love doing because you know how to do it, you enjoy it, or you're willing to learn it along with other people. And you can profit from it in this season in life. And it's not that it's not about just making money. It's about you actually are solving their problem, right? And they are willing. I mean, how many problems do you have that you are willing and do pay other people to help you solve? This is what we do. And it is important to know that that what you are doing is actually serving other people. And if you were not doing this, then they may not have, they wouldn't have your solution for sure. They may have somebody else's, but they wouldn't have your solution. And your solution may be just the one that they need. So some of it's a mindset shift too in that. And then finding that little sweet spot that AJ talked about and recognizing that may shift over time, and you may find other sweet spots. So yeah, love that. So let's see, what else are we going to talk about today? All right, I'm going to answer that question in just a minute, Ramona. So basically, there's a lot to starting an online business. There is. I'm not going to tell you it's super simple. Like you can't just like in 2 hours have everything done. I mean, that's just not realistic to be a sustainable business, right? However, it's a lot more simple than going down to Main Street and setting up a storefront. A lot more simple than that, and a lot more cost effective. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about that in just a second, but just, I'm going to give you just a brief rundown of some of the things that are involved that you will learn step by step. Okay. In the roadmap. And I'm going to go ahead and just look at the, what the modules are going to be in the next week. And most of them are the same, but it's basically, learning about this whole world of digital marketing, building a solid base, right? You'll learn about how to hone your vision. Again, there's a course on that, but we will also be available to help you with that. How to actually get a product from your head to the market, like how to produce it. That's going to be in this course coming up. Branding essentials, business automation, legal stuff, right? We don't want to think about that stuff. I hate that stuff. AJ's much better at that than I am. I hate it. Like the whole like numbers and legal and I don't like it, but you're going to learn it, and you can learn it. You can learn it easily. Even someone like me, who has got a creative brain that doesn't really think in numbers, I think more in colors than numbers. I can learn it because we're all smart enough to handle that. You will learn about a system that you will start your program in. You have to have one of those, whether you do this with this roadmap course or not. You have to have some way to collect payments, to have a landing page, to to tell people about things, to send people to. You'll have to have that. There is a free option that is in this course, but you have to have that. And then there's email marketing. Email marketing is a huge, big deal. That's how you guys got here today. We emailed you and we let you know we were doing this. That's the way y'all got here. So email marketing is important. There's a whole bunch on email marketing in the course. Okay. There's stuff on funnels, and we're going to talk about what a funnel is in just a minute. There's actually going to be a new course on blogging. So after I just said blogging instead, it's a blogging module. So I don't know, maybe it is coming back. There's content creation, which is really important. And how to handle customer service in your business, which is kind of a big piece, right? and different social media platforms. There's just a whole lot. There's a whole lot to do. And in order to do it and to start it, you just need a guide. You need a guide. You need something that's simple and a way to do it. And that's kind of what the thing is that we're offering. And
well, can I just
yeah, please. I'm going off on the tangent because I'm trying to get to the questions, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just want to jump in and say, when you read off all those things, it felt super like overwhelming and intimidating. And I would just say that when I did this originally, I didn't have a roadmap and I figured it out. So it sounds a lot more complex and overwhelming than it actually is, especially when you have a guide and the roadmap to walk you through. It simplifies it dramatically, like dramatically. And that really is the reason why Jen and I are doing this. Like when we discovered this course, we were like, this is everything that we have done all in one package. So I think to answer Ramona's question, and you can add to this one too, her question, you can add your answer. Is this something the two of us created? The course is not what we created. We did not create this course. But when we discovered the course, we were like, people need to know about this because we get asked all the time. Just this week, 2 people asked me, one on a live call, one in my inbox asked me, how have you gotten to where you're at? Like I get asked this all the time. And this is the answer. Like, this is the answer. If I were to create a course showing step by step how to do it or how I did it, this would be it. So this is just like gold on a platter. Seriously. I wish we had this when we started our stuff way back when.
Yeah. And the cool thing, and the thing about this is why it's so exciting is the things that I listed off. We did learn all those, as AJ said, we learned them, but we learned them all from different places. We bought a course on Pinterest. We bought a course on social media marketing. We bought a course on SEO. We bought a course on content marketing. We bought a course on email marketing. We bought a course on blogging. I mean, honestly, everything.
Which resulted in thousands and thousands of dollars, honestly.
Thousands of dollars.
Yes.
Thousands of dollars.
Yes. Yes.
And the difference is, I definitely will not ever go back and add up how many thousands of dollars I spent learning how to do this.
Me neither.
Never.
My husband would kill me.
No, never. But the thing is that the cool thing about this too is that they actually get, the people who do the course, they get like they have a Pinterest model in the new version that they are currently having built out by a Pinterest expert. They hired somebody who has a Pinterest course to do this part of this course. So it's like you're getting all these courses in one. Honestly, I don't know why it's not $2,000. The other day, I mentioned this, I put this on social media. The other day, I ran across a course from somebody we all know and all love, and all is a fantastic marketer in this particular space. And she is selling a course on how to create a course, and she is selling it for $2,000. $2,000, that's it. And it's just about it's not about all this other stuff. And so honestly, I don't know how it's as inexpensive as it is, but here we are. What else was I going to say about that? Yes. All right. It does sound a lot, but it breaks it down in each of the videos is like each of those like big topic things has like 5 or 6 videos in it, and they're all like 5 or 6 minutes at the most. They're like doable. And what I did, I went through the course myself from beginning to end. We already have our own email marketing. We have our own cart. We have our own website. We have all of our own stuff. But I did everything with this particular course the way they asked us, the way they teach us to set it up, so that I would make sure I knew that it could be done easily. And so I went through the entire thing. Someone asked how time consuming it is. So my question to that, my follow-up question is, do you mean how much time does it take to set it up, or how much time does it take to maintain the business? Because I think that fits in nicely with Julie's question. which is tips for carving out time for growing a business when life is busy. I truly have a desire, but struggle to make time. So I think there's two to everything. She said everything. I think there's
Both.
two different answers.
Yeah.
And I will give you my answer based on having been really done a ton of research in this particular course. Now, AJ and I can tell you that the way we did it initially took a long time. Can you safely say that? Probably
For sure.
months
For
to go
sure.
through like the initial courses. I mean, honestly, a long time. I have seen people say that they sat down and they did this course in an entire weekend, in 2 days, 24 hours, 48 hours. I've seen it. So it's possible. It's possible. I'm going to just be completely realistic with you and say that unless you have nothing to do but do the course, it's going to take you longer than 24 to 48 hours to go through it. Okay. Because there's just a lot to it. However, let's be realistic about the fact that we're not trying to make $1 million by Saturday. Oh, it is Saturday, next Saturday. We're trying to build a foundation that we can grow a business on that's going to take time to grow, but will end up with automated processes. Their whole thing is automation and getting systems in place so that it is minimal time on the back end on the front end once you get the back end done. So realistically, how long does it take to go through? To get started, realistically, you could get started in a couple of days, but you're not going to go through the entire course. Most people take about a week to go through it, knowing that they have maybe 1 or 2 hours a day to focus in on it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't want to be unrealistic and say, because I've seen this before, guys. I bought it and 48 hours later, I was making sales. Well, you don't have children or another job or a husband or, obviously they just had time to commit to it, or a dog, nothing. They had nothing. So realistically, it's going to take you maybe a week or two to get it all set up, but it's going to be the most productive and the most beneficial 2 weeks ever once you get it set up, honestly. And that's why we want to be here for you. If you do purchase it through us, we want to answer your questions. And here's the really cool thing about this, guys. Because this has been established for a couple of months, about 5 or 6 months. Like I said, this is 2.0 version. They have this really big, super helpful community that you get to be a part of. If you purchase from us, we will get you into their community. So of experts, their community of experts. So AJ and I have been doing this a long time and we know a lot. But I mean, we're not experts on all the things, right? We don't know the latest Pinterest strategy. I mean, to be honest, we don't. We have to learn those things continually. And so, but there's somebody in that course that does. And so you get in their community. And once you're in their community, you can ask questions and they will answer them. And they have like calls almost daily. They have like you can get on Zoom with people. I got the hiccups. I'm sorry. It's really embarrassing. Okay, so then let's talk about the second part so that's about getting it set up, probably a couple of weeks to get it set up. But then let's talk about how long does it take to sustain it? Because that was Julie's other question. Here's what I love about the business model that's outlined in this. Once you set up your digital product, which again takes time, you're going to see people say, just get ChatGPT and Canva and then put it together and you'll have a $50 product in 10 minutes. Guys, that's not going to happen. If it's going to be any good, that's not going to happen. It's going to take you a minute to get a good, solid product that will actually serve someone. Your goal, remember, is not just to make a buck. It's to serve. So, but once you get the product set up, it may take a week or so to get it done, depending on how much time you have. Then the really cool thing about this is the marketing part of it is on your phone. It's a lot of social media marketing. It's a lot of back and forth on here. And it is you can do it in the margins of your life. What I do is I do our content. A lot of times that's done in the pickup line. It's done when I'm late at night and I'm too tired to do anything else. I will create content then. I mean, honestly, and we can they teach you that in the course, but we can help you with that as well. So what you'll hear people say is about 2 hours a day is how much it takes to really be successful. And I probably would agree with that once you get everything set up, 1 to 2 hours a day to answer, do customer service kind of stuff and create your content. I think that sounds pretty reasonable. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. And I think Julia's like, any tips on making time for this when it is something that's important to us? Well, number one, let me just say this. When you start getting paid for something that you're doing, it helps you make the time to do it. Let's just be honest. Like, anything that you do, if there's no return on that, you're going to stop doing it.
And getting positive feedback.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Or getting questions from people saying, how did you do this? Or what made you pick XYZ over ABC? Those kinds of things, and getting to know people and their issues and their problems and their questions, all those sorts of things. Like that is feedback that helps you take this seriously, and when you take something seriously, you're going to make the time for it. But also I would say finding time for something, if there is accountability, if there's somebody there that is going to hold you accountable, or who is going to ask you, how's it going? Or if there's a community like this Facebook group we're talking about, where you can pop in every day, you have it blocked out on your schedule to say, go check in the group just to make sure that you're keeping yourself accountable. That helps me a lot. So you guys may or may not know, but I've written for a long time, and a writer's job is very, very lonely. Like there's no feedback while I'm on a writing project, which could take months. Honestly, it could take months. There's nothing, right? I'm getting nothing back. And having other people in my life in the form of an accountability group, having Jen there that I can say things to, vent my frustrations to, just having somebody there to walk the path with me is necessary. And so that's what you get with this. It's not just like a one-off thing where you're out there on your own to figure it out. Right. You have us there. You have the coaching. If you purchase through us, you have that time. And then you have the Facebook support group where you can utilize it anytime, day or night. So I think that is just a really huge component to this whole thing. And I just want to say one more thing really quickly.
Oh, wait, it's also not Facebook. So just so you know.
Oh, okay.
It's through Kajabi, because a lot of people have issues with Facebook. And so it's right there with the course on one side, community on the other. Okay.
Good.
Just wanted to make sure I mentioned that.
Okay. Yeah, that helps too. So Emily, I just wanted to say, okay, so Jen and I have talked about doing something like this for a long time. Like we've been doing our co-business for like 6 years. And we have talked back and forth. Should we tell people how we are doing? Should we like serve this whole digital marketing community? Because we know how to run a membership. We've run a membership for 6 years now. We know how to do our online products. We've done that individually and together for years now. Like we have so much knowledge. We know the funnels, we know the email marketing, we know social media marketing. Like we've done it individually and together. And so we've talked about that. And the answer has always been no, because we don't really have, like, that's not our core heart to do that. However, when we came across this course, things changed, because this course is so well laid out. It literally is a roadmap. It is a step-by-step process. And it is so financially feasible. Like you cannot get this level of information anywhere else. You simply can't. And we know that. And we feel like we are not doing you guys a service, because we get asked that all the time. Like I said, twice this week, I've sat down with people and talked them through how I've done what I've done. You cannot get this level of information at this price anywhere, and in this succinct of a pathway. Like, it does not exist. And so I feel, and I know Jen feels this way too, we are doing people a disservice who really do need a financial income or a supplement to their income, or who have a heart to start a ministry. We are doing you guys a disservice by not sharing this resource. Truly, we are. And so I would not be sharing this otherwise. Like, this is why I have now, and Jen kind of pulled me a little bit on this for a couple months. She's like, there's
Really
something
wanted to
about
do
this.
it.
I just really want to do this. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And then finally I realized, this really is a path. This is a roadmap. And I am not helping others that really need the help if I'm not sharing it.
Mhm.
And so that's why we're doing what we're doing, honestly.
Yeah. And part of the reason too that it took us so long to jump on board is because honestly, we didn't have time to create this ourselves.
Yes.
It would
Yep.
have taken thousands of dollars and hundreds
Yes.
of hours,
Yeah.
and it would not have been as good because we do not have all the experts that are willing to do this for us. So
And this is not our main thing.
and yeah, our heart is spiritual
Yeah.
growth for women initially. And that's the other cool thing. If you do purchase it from us, we've already done this with a completely different niche. Okay. Speaking of niches, what we see a lot of, and no offense if you are one of these people, but we see a lot of really, really young gals, real super cute, who've never really built a business, that want to teach you how to build a business. And that's really probably not the way to go. Okay. Because they haven't done it, honestly.
Yeah.
But that I probably said too much there.
But they're so cute.
They're so
honestly,
cute.
they are so cute.
And I'm supporting them 100%. I want them to do well.
Yes. Yeah.
But I mean, but they need to teach what they're passionate about. And it may be doing a bit. And you can certainly teach something that you're not that great at, and you can learn with them. You can do that. But it's got to be something you're passionate about. Oh, I even forgot to mention, this course comes with something called master resale rights. I didn't even mention that because that's not really our main focus.
Yeah. Ramona's asking about that, which is a huge deal.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me tell you a little bit about that. First of all, I do want to address Emily's question. It's not a question, it's a comment. She says, if I can get this running by the end of December, it will be golden. Emily, you can get this running well before the end of December. We purchased the course September. It hasn't been a month. It hasn't been a whole month when we purchased the course. And we started our Instagram just a few days after we purchased the course. And that was like September, I don't know, 15th, something like that. Anyway, you can go back and look at our first post, and on Sojo Marketing Solutions Instagram page. And honestly, so it's been a month. So, and I'm not telling you that we're like, have this huge digital marketing business in this space yet, but I am telling you that we're passionate about it, and we know that it's going to be helpful. So you can definitely have it up by Christmas. Okay. By December.
And we do have customers already. So that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And we have people that we're serving. Okay. So let's see here. The master resale. Let me tell you a little bit about that first. So that means that you can actually resell the course. So if your passion is to teach other people how to do this, maybe it's not right now. Maybe you learn it and then you're like, dog, this is great. I want other people to know how to do this. I've got this, craft business up and going because of this. And I'm going to teach people this too. You can resell the course exactly as is for the same price that you purchased it for. You have to resell it for the same price. You can't resell it for less or anything, but you can resell. You have full rights over it. You own it. We own the course, even though we didn't create it. Okay. So, now we could redo all the videos. We could download them and redo them all if we wanted to, but why would we? Because we want to give you the advantage of the experts and the community. So I don't know if that helps any, but you can resell. And that's what you'll see a lot of people on when you start getting on social media. You will see a lot of people that are reselling the course, and that's great. It's a great product to get started with reselling. until you have your other, kind of stream going. All right. What are the questions? In addition to the video course, what support do you two provide specifically? Okay. So Ramona, we are basically, you can think of us like we are your, we're your backstop, we're your support team, you ask us questions. Honestly, you probably are going to find most of your answers in the community anyway, but we are available if you want our specific take on things. All right, Ginger, you mentioned the roadmap community. You might have already answered the question, but my husband came in, I got distracted, wondering if there will be anything separate. Oh, okay. So we just talked about that. So yes, we will have something. So, but even if we have something once a month, which is kind of what we're leaning towards, like a Zoom call just for people to kind of brainstorm and talk about your own business and get help from other people. It's kind of like a mastermind. Okay. With us once a month, that will happen. But even beyond that, like I said, you can contact us. Don't feel like, oh, I can't ask them anything. We will, and even before you purchase, even if you don't purchase, you can contact us because we want to help you. Master Resell writes, I think I just talked about that. If you have any other questions, let me know. My latest course content was content strategy marketing, $1,500. Woo, bless. I know. This has content marketing in it, and we can help you with that. Can you modify the branding with Master Resell writes the way you do with PLR? Is this available to purchase at any time, or is the cart closing? Okay. So Ramona, yes, you can rebrand it if you want. Okay. You can download the videos and rebrand and add an intro, outro, whatever you want to do to them. We find it easier to get you in there. You can make your own community. Now, if you make your own community, here's the problem with that is you have to support your own community. As far as like the community part of it. So we felt like that there was a lot more support with you getting in the original community because there's a lot of people there that can help you. Okay. So, we literally direct you to the original course. Now, we are working on extra things, but to be completely honest with you, we're waiting until the 2.0 comes out to see if there's any other holes we need to fill for our specific audience. It's kind of an all-in-one done for you. It's just about everything you need. But our audience may have some holes to fill. Maybe we have people who are wanting to do online ministries, and the ministry part of it is not addressed in the course, obviously. So we may make a separate module for that, for example, in the future, depending on what the needs are. So we are open to those kind of things, if that makes sense.
But honestly, guys, the new edition is really good because it will walk you step by step how to actually get your first digital product up. This is one of the questions I got this week in my inbox. Somebody said, how do you make all your beautiful things? I want to do a Bible study template. I have my own template that I want to create, but I don't know how to make it pretty. I did it in Word and it looks so like unprofessional. And this course walks you step by step how to use online resources to very easily create a printable, whatever it is, whether it's a calendar or a template or, PDF, whatever. So that is golden if you don't know what you're doing. It's helpful for me.
I was about to say, for someone who, like, AJ has always hired designers to do hers. Yep. And I have always designed in Photoshop and InDesign and AI. I mean, not AI, artificial intelligence, but the Adobe AI. The point is that they were very, very specialized and complex.
Yeah, you have to pay a lot of money to learn how to use the program.
I pay a couple $100 a month to use. Love them. I love them. But now you can do this for free, and it's almost annoying to me.
Yeah. I mean, see, guys, you wouldn't even believe. This is why I say not sharing this resource feels like I'm doing people wrong.
All right.
Like, seriously.
It does. Okay. All right, guys. I think AJ has to pop off right now. It's noon, AJ. You need to pop off. If there's anybody else that has any questions, I will stay on for just one more second, and then we'll head off. And then I'll head off. I know she had somewhere she had to do at noon. It is Saturday after all, and we have kids going every which direction. All right. Well, I am really, really excited to work with you guys. AJ and I are, like I said, this is a new adventure for us, but it's something we've been doing a long time, and we are super pumped about it and cannot wait to work with you and can't wait to share all of the new things we have coming for those that decide to jump on with us. And we did it. We literally purchased the course and went through the course ourselves, me personally. That's my son and my grandson. But get on social media, find us at sojomarketing.com. Let me show you what we look like right here. Looks like this. Sojo Marketing Solutions. And you'll see my face all up in here. Okay. And you'll kind of get an idea. All right. Yay. It's great to talk to you guys. Yay, Emily. I hope to see you inside the roadmap. I think you will. If you're looking to start this, if this is your thing, if you're looking to start an online business or an online ministry, anything like that, and actually brick and mortar people are getting on it too for the marketing part of it. So there's a lot to be said there. And we'll see you later. All right, bye.